Welcome back to Roosevelt Live. I'm going to touch on a topic about the IRS. The IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. Personally, myself, I want to say right off the bat, it should be just dismantled. It's a system that doesn't work. It has too many different variations of it. You have little IRS, I call them, spots all over the United States. You might get a call from Atlanta. You might get a call from Utah. You might get a call from Missouri. I mean, you might get calls from all over the place. If you ever have one single problem with the IRS, it will last. It's like a backache. You know how they say if you injure your back, it's a lifetime? Well, if you have any problem with the IRS, it's a backache. It's a lifetime. It's never going to go away. It's always going to be there. It pops up out of nowhere. It's some of the most ridiculous things that you can ever imagine going wrong. People, recently, I'm sure we remember a couple months ago, the guy flew his plane into the building where he was being pressured by the IRS for whatever reason. I don't know if he owed them money or they thought he owed them money, or maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But whatever it was, it prompted him to get in the plane and basically commit suicide, because that's what happened when he flew that plane into the building. But I'm not that type of extremist. But what I do know from some issues with the IRS myself, just simple things. I remember one time I had a payment to make. It was a payroll payment. Like when you do your payroll, you do like your payroll taxes. And according to them, I was off by $8. That's $8. But I wasn't aware of it, obviously, or if I knew it was off $8, I would have corrected it. But some 6 to 9 months later, before they sent me a letter and said that you had obviously a miscalculation, and it was $8. It was, and I'm gonna repeat that, it was $8. That $8 had a fine, and I kid you not, of $800. That's an 8 and 2 zeros. Somehow they charged me $800 for making an $8 mistake 6 to 9 months earlier. When I approached them with this and asked them, "Is this not even humanly possible? What kind of markup is that?" I mean, that's unheard of. I mean, price gouging is illegal, and that's definitely IRS gouging, because to try to justify an $800 penalty for an $8 deficit made no sense whatsoever. They couldn't explain it to me. They couldn't tell me anything. But what they could tell me is that I had to pay it. Now, I could have went out and sought some type of attorney or whatever, but then it would cost me even more money, because then I would have had to pay them, and then that would have cost me right off the bat. That would have been more than $800 just going in. So it's a lose-lose, because even if I had won the $800 deal, didn't have to pay it, I would have lost more than that getting an attorney. So pretty much, you're over a barrel. So I know right now we have other issues in hand. I was hoping during the last presidential election that would have been one of the things. If I had an opportunity to ask a question to any of the candidates, I definitely would have asked them about doing a reconstruction or a total dismantling of the IRS and starting all over again, because it's definitely not fair and it's definitely not balanced. The bigger fish, they can fight against this stuff because they have endless income. But the small people, the laymen like me, or small business owners, they're pretty much just being held down because they can't fight it. They don't have the money to fight against it, and they don't really have the money to pay it. And when you get threatened, like I have friends of mine that's been threatened, oh, the IRS is going to come in, they're going to take your property, they're going to sell everything you got, they're going to freeze your accounts, they're going to liquidate, and it's just unbelievable, because my understanding was at one time these taxes were a volunteer tax. Now somehow they went from a volunteer tax to a lifetime of being told you must pay these taxes. Now I've ran into people that tell me you don't have to pay it, you don't have to pay the IRS. They'll say that they don't do it, they don't pay taxes. Well, it's only a matter of time before they catch up with them and take everything they got, and even in some cases, lock people up. Now, I don't know if you know that, but IRS, some of the agents have guns, and they will come in, they will seize your property. I did a job once where the IRS came in on, it was a casino ship, and that casino ship, I guess they obviously had some IRS problems. And when it came in from out on this one of his tours, the IRS was waiting. They seized the ship right there. The only thing that was able to go off the ship was the people. Everything else was frozen right then, right there. Now, me, I'm sure they had warnings beforehand that they probably owed some money or whatever. But you definitely can't pay them if they take everything you got and liquidate, and they're not going to get the money. And then what are they going to do? I don't know. They're going to lock you up. They're going to make you be in such a deficit that you're never going to get out of it. You're going to hold that you cannot possibly climb out of. I don't know. All I know is that the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, as far as I'm concerned, need to be dismantled. Need to be totally torn apart and redone, or fix it where we paying a flat tax, because too many people on the higher ends are paying no taxes, and they're making literally millions, and they pay zero taxes. Then you got people that somehow are making $18,000, $15,000 a year and not paying in federal tax at all, or paying very little federal tax and getting $6,000-$7,000 back a year. Then you got that person I call the monkey in the middle, not making enough to afford to not pay no taxes and making too much to get anything back. So they're getting hit in the head and basically kicked in the behind at the same time. And a lot of times I feel like that monkey in the middle. If you feel like the monkey in the middle, you feel like the IRS is coming down on you, your family, to the point that you can't function because of the pressure, because you're afraid, give me your opinion, because I want to know, because you've heard mine. I'm interested in hearing yours. You can always drop me an email if you want to say something to me, or you agree or you disagree, either or, because we're fair and balanced here at Roosevelt Live. So feel free to email me. I welcome it at live@roosevelt@gmail.com, or you go out and check out segments of the show maybe the week before that you didn't see it to see, or you didn't know Roosevelt Live was out there. Been out here now for about 4 weeks, and if you didn't see week 1, 2, or 3, or you're interested in seeing week 4, either way, go out on youtube.com/Roosevelt Live. Tell me what you think. I told you what I thought.